Have you heard about StarCoder, the new breakthrough in AI code generation?
No, I haven't. What's it all about?
Well, it's a state-of-the-art large language model for code, trained
Oh,
on a massive
interesting.
amount of programming data.
So, like, how massive are we talking?
We're talking about a model with 15 billion parameters, trained on
Wow.
over 1 trillion tokens.
That's huge. How does it compare to other models out there?
It's pretty remarkable, actually. StarCoder Base, which is their base model, outperforms existing open code LLMs on popular programming benchmarks,
Really?
and even matches or surpasses some closed models, like OpenAI's Code Cushman 001.
Wait, so it can outperform some of OpenAI's models? That's impressive.
Exactly. And what's even more exciting is that it has a context length of over 8,000 tokens, which means it
8,000?
can process more input than any other open LLM out there.
That's incredible. So what can it do with all that context?
Well, with that much context, it can handle complex coding tasks, like auto-completing code, making modifications via instructions, and even explaining code snippets in natural language.
So it's not just about generating code, but understanding it too?
Exactly. They even prompted it with a series of dialogues to enable it to act as a technical assistant.
That's really cool. But, how did they train it on so much data?
They trained it on a subset of the Stack 1.2, which is a dataset of permissively licensed code from GitHub, including over 80 programming languages, Git commits, issues, and Jupyter notebooks.
Wait, so did they address any concerns about personal data in the code?
Yes, they did. They took important steps towards a safe release, including an improved PII redaction pipeline
good.
to remove personal identifiable information like names, passwords, and email addresses.
That's reassuring. But what about licensing? Can companies actually use this model?
Absolutely. They made StarCoder publicly available under an improved version of the OpenRail license, which
Nice.
simplifies the process for companies to integrate the model into their products.
So it's not just for researchers, but for businesses too?
Exactly. They believe that StarCoder will serve as a solid foundation for the community to adapt it to various use cases and products.
I'm curious about how well it performs compared to other models. Did they evaluate it?
Yes, they conducted thorough evaluations on various benchmarks.
Like which
For
ones?
example, on the Human Evil benchmark, which tests code completion based on function signatures and doc strings, StarCoder outperformed models like Palm, LaMDA, and Llama, despite being significantly smaller.
That's impressive. How does it fare against OpenAI's models?
It outperforms OpenAI's Code Cushman 001 model on several benchmarks.
Wow.
For instance, on the Human Evil benchmark with a special prompt, StarCoder achieved over 40% accuracy, setting a new state-of-the-art for open models.
Wait, what special prompt?
They noticed that the model would sometimes produce placeholder text, like "Einar solution here," instead of
Oh, I
actual
see.
code. By adjusting the prompt to guide the model towards generating the correct implementation, they improved the performance significantly.
That's clever. So it's not just about the model, but how you use it.
Exactly. And another interesting aspect is that StarCoder is multilingual, meaning it can
Oh?
handle code in multiple programming languages.
Really? So developers using different languages can benefit from it?
Yes, it was evaluated on multi-PLE, which extends Human Evil to many other languages, and it matches or outperforms Code Cushman 001 on many of them.
That's fantastic. So it's pretty versatile then.
Absolutely. And on a data science benchmark called DS1000, it clearly beats all other open access models.
It's sounding like a real game changer.
It really is. And here's something even more exciting. By prompting the model appropriately, they enabled it to act as a tech assistant.
Wait, so it can answer programming questions too?
Yes. Inspired by Anthropic's HHH prompt, they built a tech assistant prompt, and surprisingly, with just that, the model can answer programming-related requests effectively.
That could be so useful for developers needing quick answers.
Exactly. It's like having a knowledgeable coding companion ready to help.
So are there any tools or demos available for us to try this out?
Yes, they've released a bunch of resources and demos, including model weights, code for data preprocessing and training, evaluation harnesses, and even a VS Code extension to code with StarCoder.
That's awesome. So it's quite accessible then?
Absolutely. They also have a chat interface where you can interact with StarCoder as a tech assistant.
I can't wait to try that out. But are there any concerns or limitations we should be aware of?
Well, as with any AI model, there are always considerations. They took steps to ensure safety, like removing PII and implementing an opt-out process for code contributors.
That's good to hear. But do you think it might raise issues around code licensing or intellectual property?
Well, they addressed that by training only on permissively licensed code and releasing the model under the OpenRail license, which is designed to be clear about usage rights. So they've put a lot of thought into responsible development.
I understand that, but don't you think there's still a risk of the model reproducing proprietary code inadvertently?
That's a valid concern. But they've implemented measures like a code attribution tool that can trace generated code back to the dataset.
Okay.
It helps maintain transparency and address any potential issues.
I get that, but isn't there still a chance of accidental exposure?
Well, no system is perfect, but I think they've minimized the risks as much as possible. Plus, the open community can contribute to further improving safety measures.
I suppose that's true. It's important to stay vigilant, though.
Definitely. It's something we need to keep an eye on, but overall, I think the benefits outweigh the risks.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's exciting to see such advancements being made accessible to the wider community.
It really is. I think it's going to have a big impact on how developers write and interact with code.
Definitely. I can't wait to see how people start using it in their projects.
Same here. It's an exciting time to be involved in AI and coding.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing all this information about StarCoder.
No problem. I'm glad we could dive into it.